Whispers in the hall. The wind howled through the ancient arches of Ravenstone University, carrying with it the faint scent of rain and something more elusive, a sense of foreboding. Mira Hayes tightened her coat as she hurried down the cobblestone path, clutching her class notes. It was her first semester here, but the weight of the place already pressed against her, as if the university itself was watching. A flicker of movement caught her eye. Across the quad, a figure stood cloaked in shadow, half hidden behind the statue of the university's founder. The figure's gaze seemed fixed on her. Mira froze. "Mira Hayes," a deep, unfamiliar voice murmured. She spun around, but no one was there. Her heart raced as she clutched the pendant around her neck, a gift from her sister, Lena, before she vanished 3 years ago. The memory hit like a cold gust of wind. Lena had been a student here, too. The last person to see her alive had claimed she just left, leaving no trace. Shaking off the eerie moment, Mira continued toward her dorm. But when she entered her room, her blood turned to ice. A single sheet of parchment lay on her desk, though she was sure it hadn't been there before. "Your sister knew too much. Will you repeat her mistakes?" The signature at the bottom was a single symbol, a serpent entwined with a dagger. "Would you like me to develop this storyline further? Perhaps adding another chapter or outlining the next steps? Please subscribe the channel." The serpent's shadow. Myra's hands trembled as she clutched the note. The paper felt oddly cold, as if it had been stored in ice. She examined the symbol at the bottom, an intricate serpent coiling around a dagger. It felt vaguely familiar, like something she had seen in the old family photo albums Lena loved to pore over. Her first instinct was to run, to pack her things, leave Ravenstone, and never look back. But then the image of her sister's face swam into her mind. Bright eyes, contagious laughter, and a promise. "We'll always protect each other, Mira. No matter what." Mira squared her shoulders. Whoever left the note wanted to intimidate her, but she wasn't going to cower. The following morning, Mira slipped into the university library, one of the oldest buildings on campus. The air smelled of dust and ink, and the silence was absolute, save for the faint rustle of pages being turned. She approached the reference desk, where a gray-haired librarian peered over her glasses. "Excuse me," Mira said, keeping her voice low. "I'm looking for information on symbols. Specifically, a serpent wrapped around a dagger. Do you have anything on that?" The librarian's smile froze, and her eyes flicked to the side, as if someone might overhear. "We don't keep material on those kinds of things, dear," she said softly. "If you're smart, you'll forget you ever saw it." Mira frowned. "But—" The librarian leaned forward, her voice barely a whisper. "Some doors are better left closed." Then she straightened, her expression neutral again. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do." Frustrated but undeterred, Mira wandered the aisles of the library. She ran her fingers along the spines of the books, searching for titles that might hold answers. In a secluded corner, her gaze landed on an unmarked leather-bound tome. The cover was cracked and worn, but something about it drew her in. She pulled it from the shelf and flipped it open. The pages were filled with dense handwriting, diagrams, and strange symbols, one of which was the serpent and dagger. Chapter 3. Secrets of the Elysium Order. The handwritten notes referred to an organization called the Order of Elysium, described as a secret society founded at Ravenstone over 2 centuries ago. According to the text, the Order's members were drawn from the most powerful families in the country. Myra's stomach turned as she read on. The society's rituals were shrouded in mystery, but rumors suggested they involved psychological manipulation, blackmail, and worse. One phrase stood out. To join the order, one must offer something irreplaceable. She snapped a photo of the page with her phone and slipped the book into her bag. The faint sensation of being watched prickled at her neck. Mira turned, but no one was there. As she left the library, the sunlight felt almost blinding after the dim confines of the building. Myra's mind raced. What could Lena have stumbled upon to make her a target of the shadowy society? Later that evening, Mira decided to investigate her sister's old dorm room. The room had since been assigned to a new student, but Mira remembered the location. Under the cover of darkness, she made her way across campus. When she reached the door, her pulse quickened. It was slightly ajar. Mira pushed it open, the creak of the hinges echoing in the silent hallway. Inside, the room was dark and empty, save for a single object on the desk, a dusty old journal. She stepped inside and picked it up, flipping through the pages. It was Lena's handwriting. They call it a game, but it's more than that. The order controls everything. If you refuse, they make you disappear. Just like Adam, Sophia, and... The rest of the entry was scribbled out, illegible. Before Mira could read further, the door slammed shut behind her. She spun around, heart in her throat, but the room was empty. Then she heard the whisper, "Leave while you still can. Would you like me to continue with more suspenseful developments or explore another angle of the story?" The initiation. Mira clutched the journal to her chest as she backed toward the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whisper echoed again, this time more distinct. "You can't save her. You'll only lose yourself." A chill ran down Myra's spine. "Who's there?" No response. Her phone buzzed, breaking the silence. A text appeared from an unknown number. "Meet me in the observatory. Midnight. Come alone." Despite her fear, Mira couldn't ignore the chance of finding answers. At midnight, she climbed the spiral staircase to the campus observatory, her footsteps echoing in the stillness. Inside, a tall figure waited in the shadows. "Who are you?" Mira demanded. The figure stepped into the light. It was a student, a man in his mid-20s with sharp features and piercing eyes. "My name is Elias. I'm part of the order." Myra's fist clenched. "If you're part of it, why would you help me?" Elias's expression darkened. "Because I want out. They're not what they seem. The order destroys anyone who threatens their secrets. Your sister, Lena, she was close to exposing them. She found proof of their sacrifices." Myra's blood ran cold. "Sacrifices? Their power comes at a cost," Elias said. "They choose someone every year to offer, someone the world won't miss. They claim it's symbolic, but the truth is far darker. Lena found out and tried to stop them. That's why they silenced her." Myra's chest tightened. "Is she dead?" Elias hesitated. "I don't know, but I can help you get the answers. There's a ceremony tomorrow night, the annual initiation. If you want the truth, you'll have to attend undercover." The truth revealed. The initiation took place in an underground chamber beneath the university chapel. Mira, disguised in a black cloak provided by Elias, blended in among the other initiates. The room was dimly lit by torches, the air thick with incense and tension. At the center stood the order's leader, his face hidden by a gilded mask. Behind him, a massive tapestry depicted the serpent and dagger symbol. The leader raised his arms. "Tonight, we welcome new members into the Order of Elysium. But before loyalty is proven, a price must be paid." Two hooded figures dragged a struggling captive into the room. A young man, bound and gagged. Myra's stomach churned. "This offering will seal your pact," the leader intoned. Myra's heart raced as she scanned the room for Elias. He was nowhere to be seen. Desperate, she pulled Lena's journal from her cloak and opened it to the page where Lena had written about the initiation. "If they call for the offering, disrupt the ritual. Break the circle. They fear exposure more than anything." Summoning her courage, Mira stepped forward. "Stop!" she shouted. The room fell silent, all eyes turning to her. "And who are you to defy tradition?" the leader demanded, his voice cold and venomous. Mira pulled back her hood, revealing her face. "Someone who knows the truth. How many lives have you destroyed for your so-called power? How many families have you shattered?" Gasps rippled through the crowd. The leader chuckled. Brave but foolish. You know nothing of the order's purpose. Then explain it. Mira challenged, her voice unwavering. Before he could respond, Elias emerged from the shadows, brandishing a camera. This ends now. I've recorded everything. The leader's composure cracked. You traitor. A commotion erupted as some initiates rushed toward Elias, while others hesitated, questioning their allegiance. Seizing the chaos, Mira grabbed a torch and hurled it at the tapestry. Flames roared to life, illuminating the chamber and sending panic screams echoing through the room. The aftermath. The fire spread quickly, forcing everyone to flee the chamber. Mira and Elias escaped into the night, their clothes singed and hearts pounding. I think we got what we needed, Elias said, holding up the camera. The footage was handed to a journalist, one who had no ties to Ravenstone's alumni network or its donors. Within days, the story of the Order of Elysium broke nationwide. Allegations of corruption, blackmail, and disappearances tarnished Ravenstone's reputation, forcing the university to sever all ties with the secret society. For Mira, the victory was bittersweet. Lena's fate remained uncertain. Though the Order had been exposed, they had destroyed records and silenced members to cover their tracks. But as Mira prepared to leave Ravenstone, she received a package in the mail. Inside was a pendant identical to Lena's, along with a note. You were closer than you think. Keep searching. L. Myra's determination burned brighter than ever. The fight wasn't over. But now, she wasn't afraid to face the shadows.